Hi everyone, good day. My name is Dr. Joseph Arjison and I welcome you to Campus Grow Television, Nigeria. Today we'll be looking at a very important topic which has to do with UKVI credibility interview, which is part of the interview questions you may answer before securing your visa to study in the UK. Well, it's not everyone that actually has to take this interview. But this interview actually comes in a situation where an application is not straightforward or the case officer need additional information. And these questions are generally almost the same with all applicants wanting to study in the UK. Today, I'll be giving you a detailed explanations of each questions and how you must answer them. But before we continue, I would like you to click on our subscribe button or ring us so that you can get regular updates on our new videos, which will help you to achieve your international education and career goal. Now today, we're focusing, like I said earlier on, we're focusing on credibility interview, which is the United Kingdom visa immigration interview. Now, most of you who had experience applying to study in the UK can confirm the fact that currently, as Nigeria is concerned, most of the universities in the UK are requesting that Nigerian applicants must take this credibility interview with their internal team in case they will need to be interviewed by the visa officer in the future. So as a result of this, we have taken a lot of effort and time to research on the kind of questions that is being asked, and we've also been able to provide a kind of information for accurate response to the questions themselves. You know, you could be as honest as you can when a question is being asked by a case officer, but basically there are kind of answers that are required from you to answer. And these answers are what will show if actually you qualify to be sponsored by the school or you qualify to receive the student visa to study in the UK or not. So I'll be taking them one after the other. Number one is a question about your travel history. This officer might ask you if you had a previous visa refuser. When this kind of question is being asked, ensure you are as truthful as you can, because any lies or deceit you make can be discovered. Don't forget that most of the embassies share information, and if you have had travel history that you didn't declare in your visa, you automatically be refused a visa. So it is good to declare that you had a refuser if you had, or if you have traveled before, you need to know the date, you need to know on what visa you traveled with, either a tourist visa, student visa, work visa. You should be able to, and you should be able to state the month and the year of your travel. So once this is in place, then you're good to go to the next question. In addition to this, if you had a visa refuser, just declare you had a visa refuser, whichever country it is, even if it's an African country. Now, what this actually helps the case officer to do is to determine if you are sincere or if you're an honest person who have actually shown a high level of honesty in answering the visa questions, which determine your approval of a visa to study in the UK. Now, just don't be afraid about your visa history. If you had a refuser, declare. The only time a refuser can lead to another refuser, it's when the reason for your refuser is based on document falsification or lies. So when a case officer discovers this, they automatically refuse you a visa because you've only shown that you're a dishonest person who cannot be trusted in their home country. So this takes us to the next question. Number two, they'll ask you, why do you want to study in the UK instead of your home country? Now, when a question like this is being asked, you are expected to answer, number one, you want to study in the UK instead of your home country for the following reasons. Number one, for quality education. The UK certification is globally accepted and UK education is recognized worldwide. Most of the UK universities rank among the best in the world, and coming to study in the UK will enable me to have a certificate that will make me fit into any part of the world and in any global organization, and with it I can advance my career in order to advance my country and to impact the world with the gift that I have acquired. Also, you should be able to say something like UK accommodate students from over 250 countries in the world with different cultural background and religious background. That is to say, UK has encourage a multicultural environment where people with different cultural background, irrespective of their religion, their culture, can come and study. And not only for students to come study in the UK as well. You have the lecturers lecturing in the UK not being British only, where people from Nigeria, lecturers from Nigeria, lecturer from Ghana, from China, from different countries of the world, lecturing in different universities in the UK. So in a nutshell, UK is a global village where you can reach the whole world within a country. You can also answer the question also by raising the following another point, such as the UK master's programs are done for 1 year, except in the case where a student is requesting for a placement. But basically, UK and my own country share the same educational system. That is the same master's program are studied for 1 year. And what does this mean? It will enable you to quickly finish up your program. So if UK is offering you a 1 year master's program, so why will you go study in other countries where master's programs are done for 2 years? So you do your master's in the UK for 1 year, not just for 1 year, in a high rated quality school where the academic qualifications are globally accepted. So when that is answered, you can also proceed to say something like UK and my own country, Nigeria, share the same time zone. As it stands right now, UK timing system and Nigeria time system are on the same zone. 7 o'clock in the morning in Nigeria is 7 o'clock in the morning in the UK. So what this simply means is that you're not going to be experiencing time zone shock like when you go to study in other countries. Now you can also further by answering preceding questions under this question of why you want to study in the UK instead of your own country, where another question can come such as why study in the UK instead of countries like Canada, Australia, US and other countries. It's so simple. Now these are the points you're going to raise when answering a question related to these other countries. I've chosen to study in the UK because UK offer me a 1 year master's program which Canada, Australia and US do not offer me. Master's program in the US, Canada, Australia are for 2 years. So why will I go study for 2 years for the same high quality certification in the UK when I have the UK to study in? So it doesn't make sense for me. So if I need an international education qualification and international work experience, UK is the best. You could also answer another point you could raise to this question is master's tuition fee. The cost of tuition in US, Canada and Australia for 2 years is definitely higher than the cost of tuition I'll be paying in the UK for 1 year. Let's say for example, in the US for a year on the average you pay $15,000. That means in 2 years you'll be paying $30,000. Meanwhile, in the UK, I could get a school as low as £12,500 for a year, or £13,000. And when there are scholarships in some cases, I could get even £11,500 depending on the course I want to study. So if I do the exchange rate compared to Naira to the equivalent of pounds and dollar, I would definitely come to a conclusion that it's cost effective to study in the UK. In addition to that, proximity to my own country. A straight flight from Nigeria to the UK is 6 hours. Why a straight flight from here to US, Canada, Australia is much more than 12 hours. So why will I go study that far when I'll be losing connection with my own country and my family? You could also raise a point in this regard concerning time zone shock, because 7 a.m. in the morning in Nigeria could just be 12 p.m. in another country like Canada, Australia and US. So this time zone shock, before you balance up in with the time zone, before you understand the way the weather works, before you understand some other things, you would have lost a lot. So no wonder those programs for those countries could be 2 years. But it's much more easier to study in the UK and still get what the high quality education that you would have gotten in US, Canada, and Australia, and this puts you at better advantage over those going to study for 2 years in these other countries. Another question that you might be asked by the UKVI is, what is the course you have chosen to study in the UK, that is in the university you have chosen? You should be able to mention the course the way it is outlined on your offer. If it is MSc Management, just say it the way it is on your offer. If it is MSc Management with Digital Marketing, say it the way it is. Don't have MSc Management with Digital Marketing and then you were saying digital marketing. So it's as good as telling the case officer that you don't even know what you're going to study. So that sends a message that you are not actually sincere with your study plan, which simply means that you're trying to use the study plan as an escape route to the UK. So that might lead to a refusal in your case. Now, another question that will follow that is, why did you choose the program that you have just mentioned in the first answers? You should be able to align your reason for choosing this course with your career goal. You don't say my course of choice is MSc Management and they ask you why did you choose to study the course, and you're saying, oh, because I want to be a better person in the future, because I want to earn more money. That is totally outrageous and totally out of the point. They expect you to say something like, I have chosen to study this course because it aligns with my career goal, and my career goal is to become a world-class management consultant. Now, when you ask you a question like this, you say, I have chosen to study MSc Management because. Another crucial questions you might be receiving from the UKVI could be, have you been working ever since you graduated? Now, what's the reason behind this question? The UKVI case officer wants to know if you have a study gap, or if what you stated on your CV is contrary to what you're going to be saying. So you're expected after you graduated from your degree to have work experience. If you're not working, you should be able to be studying for one thing or the other in order to fill in the gap so that ignorance will not overtake you. So you need to prove that you have work experience and the work experience is relevant to what you have chosen to study in the UK. It aligns with my career goal, and my career goal is to become a world-class management consultant. Currently, I work in different management positions in my current organization where I manage people, money, and material. Though I study a course in marketing, but I've been operating in the management position over time. So coming to study this course will enable me to understand the theory of management and how I will actually be able to implement management ideas and also be creative about my operation as a manager. Currently, I took a study leave to come study in the UK, and my organization availed me the study leave with the opportunity to come back and take up a higher role. So coming to study in the UK will enable me to return back to my home country and implement the ideas I have acquired or the skills I've acquired from my study in the organization. And when I work in the organization for about 5 years, I look forward in the future to setting up my management consultancy company in order to help other businesses and take it further there into the international realm. Okay, question 5. Now, the next question you're going to be asked is very crucial. It's one of the most important questions in all questions that you will be required to answer why you want to study in the UK. And this question is going to be bordering on. Okay, question 5. You'll be asked to compare university you've researched upon. So that's university comparison. And this question is one of the most important questions in the whole of the series of questions you'll be asked. And when they ask you, have you researched on any university aside from the university you've actually chosen to study, you should be able to at least speak about 2 other universities you researched in. Why is this relevant? You are expected to have looked at 2 more other universities before you finally settle with the university you have chosen, in order to know the strengths and weaknesses of this university, and to also show that you did not just get an advice to go study for a particular school, but you've done your own due diligence by making a research, by doing a research on your choice university. So what do they expect you to say in this regard? You could say something like, yes, I have researched on two other universities. I've compared to other universities before settling for this particular university I'm studying in. I researched University of Greenwich and I researched University of Birmingham, and both of these universities actually offers the same course